Hey, Shane's Brain here, and today's topic is penguins. Penguins, 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 and what I know about them. If you're new here, this is Shane's Brain. It's an interesting place where the contents of my brain are finally allowed to be experienced by the world. I spew forth stuff, I talk about things, and I post every Wednesday of every week, so stay tuned. In honor of penguins, I'm wearing my penguin shirt. Actually, it's not really a penguin shirt. It's just, I didn't even think about it. It's coincidence. Anyway, they are black and white and live at the North Pole.
There are no penguins on the North Pole.
Okay, they live somewhere cold. That is about all I used to know about penguins. I didn't know there was much else to know. But I was wrong. And now that I know the truth, I will never be the same. Can learning about penguins change your life? Probably not. But it can occupy your thoughts for hours, weeks, months, and even years. And so it is with me. On a quiet evening over 20 years ago, my dad and I sat down to watch a little TV. My dad selected a nature show on PBS from the lineup, and without much thought or discussion, we watched it. When the show ended, my dad clicked off the TV and went to bed. It obviously had not penetrated his soul as it had mine. I sat there stunned, mouth agape, pondering on what I had just witnessed. Perhaps my dad already knew all that stuff about penguins. Or maybe he was just so used to learning new things it didn't faze him. Or maybe, secretly, he lay awake in his bed, stunned, mouth agape. Whoa! In any case, I found this particular nature show extremely interesting, and I learned a ton about penguins. I am not a penguin expert, and do not care about technical details, as you will soon find out. I'm just a random fat guy talking about a penguin show from memory that I saw over 20 years ago, for mainly entertainment purposes, so please refrain from pointing out boring details that I may not have 100% correct. That being said, I don't even know exactly what type of penguins they were. They were penguins. Once a year, they travel to a desert island to mate. Now, these penguins are monogamous. They have the same mate their entire lives. Now, the male goes there months before the female to get the house in order, so to speak. So on this beach, there are thousands of nests, which are just modest holes in the ground, where they will have their offspring. The trick is, each penguin must now find the exact same nest that he has occupied in the past, which can prove rather difficult when everybody's house looks exactly the same. There are no addresses painted on the curb, no map, no porch light, no blue front door.
That's my house there with the blue front door.
No welcome mat with cursive writing that says the Johnsons. Just thousands of holes on miles of beach. I'm not sure how they do it, but eventually each penguin finds their nest, their home, sometimes taking them many, many days to do so. Now that the male penguin has located his house, there's a lot of cleaning to do. Over the months of abandonment, the nests have become encumbered with all sorts of debris. Sticks, dirt, brush, rocks. It's a downright mess. So the male dutifully begins to remove every stick, rock, and unwanted speck of sand so that everything is just right for when his sweetheart arrives.
I find that very attractive.
Now that the house is spotless, there's not much else now for the males to do, except wait for the women. The females swim for months to get there. They soon arrive and begin to pile onto the beach. The trick is, now they must find their mate, which can prove rather difficult when everyone looks exactly the same.
You all look the same to me.
That's right. You know how penguins all look the same to us? Well, they all look the same to each other, too. So how do they locate the right mate, you ask? Voice. That's right, voice. They recognize each other by their voices. So you have thousands of penguins walking up and down the beach, all of them yelling at the top of their lungs at the same time, trying to listen for the sound of their mate's voice. Can you imagine how annoying that would be? Can you imagine walking down a busy city street with thousands of other people that look exactly like you, and you're trying to listen for your wife's voice? Shh! Everyone be quiet for a second. Honey, is that you? Shh! It also makes me wonder, how are they attracted to each other? Wow, would you listen to her? She has got a nice set of vocal cords. Anyway, it usually takes several weeks for the couples to find each other. And once they do, it's time to go home. Now, the female has been swimming for months. And when she finally arrives, she immediately begins the weeks-long process of finding her mate. She's tired, she's hammered, she's beat. The only thing on her mind is sleep. The male, on the other hand, has been waiting and waiting and waiting. And the only thing on his mind is, well, not sleep. So by the time they get home, he's not really interested in showing her what he's done with the place. Now, there isn't enough room inside, so they must mate outside on the front porch, which probably makes the males who have not found their wives yet pretty annoyed. Oh, come on. Where are you, Margaret? After everyone has found each other and they're settling into their nests and their neighborhoods, there are always a few left over. Either they never found their mate and never found their nest, or maybe they just swam to the wrong beach. Whatever the reasons, some of the male penguins find themselves without a home and without a wife. So they do what anyone would do. They go and try and steal someone else's. That would be interesting. Can you imagine you're just sitting around watching TV? Someone knocks on your door and announces, "You must now fight me for everything that you have." The program pointed out that the intruder rarely wins this battle. That's comforting. I think it just proves that we all fight a little bit harder for something that's worth fighting for. And now you know what I know about penguins. So there.